Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video featuring our good old friend, the 3x3x3. In this video, I'm gonna go over a few more advanced tips that will help you solve the cube much faster than the about an hour you're taking to solve this cube. So let's do this. I'm ready. I'll catch it this time. Not coming, is it? Oh, there it is. Here we go. So, our first tip, and it involves doing the white X, or cross, we call it. Our first tip here is, instead of having to move pieces up to the yellow center, instead of having to move white edges to the yellow center, we can actually just move pieces to the white center almost immediately, instead of wasting our time finding pieces that need to go white edge to yellow center, to the different colored center to the white center. Instead, we can just do same color center and then white, instead of going through that process that is excruciatingly long. And yeah, that's really it for part of this tip. However, if you don't feel like you're advanced enough to be able to move on from this daisy thing here, here's a little tip. When you have a edge like this and you can't, get in the right orientation because it's so hard, and sometimes you got it, but then you get rid of this and you just don't know what to do. Here's an algorithm for you. When this piece will not go where it's supposed to go, in the sense, you can simply just turn the top or the yellow centered face and then move the side with the white edge on it. And that should help you get to the daisy a little bit quicker. And then you just finish the cross like that. Our next tip here is with the corners. It's really advised that you learned how to do this move over here on the left-hand version, the left-hand version of it. And the left-hand version of it is almost identical to the right-hand version, except it's with your left hand. So you see here we have L prime, which is the opposite, which is the same direction as R over here. L prime is literally just R on the left side. Then U prime, L, U. Just like that. And hey, look at that. The corner is solved. With that tip being said, however, it is going to save you a heck of a lot of time to know that if the white color on a corner is facing your left or your right, it's gonna take at least one of either this move or this move in order to orient it into its place. But there are the chances, however, when you can have the white facing up, which in that case you're just gonna have to do a really different version of this algorithm. And instead of doing the normal one U-turn like how we do it like this, instead what we can do is do a double U flick. And then we can get into that position where we can then just do the move that we need to do. Our next tip here does involve the opposite side of what I just barely showed. Just do a double U flick and then just finish off the move as usual. And then we have our last tip here for what we call the white face. When you are, finishing up, I said in my last video that you can get a chance of getting this very case where you have to do a bunch of algorithms, and yeah, that's just no fun. So instead of doing that, what you can do is move the edge that would eventually collide into this right here, and move it down with the opposite face. It doesn't really matter what face it is. Move the top and then move like this. So just reverses what we were doing. And then you can put the edge in, and then the leftover edge, you can just put that in. I was calling edges corners, and I'm super sorry about that. But I have another tip for you all when it comes to the white face. Our tip here is that if you have white facing you, what you can do is turn it till it's either to the left or to the right of you. Lift this face up, turn the top this way so that white is again facing you, and then turning this side down. That also is a way to insert the corners. Again, just to show that again on the opposite side, what you can do is turn it so that white is facing, in this case, our right hand. Lift this side up, this to this side, so that white is facing you again, and then this down. And that should help you get better at completing the white face. So in this case here, let's say that I have inserted these two corners, and just by some miracle, the edges are in not the right orientation, but they're supposed to go opposite where they're supposed to go, like this, to their opposing center. What you can do is this algorithm here. So having either green or blue face you, I will show this on both sides, but here's what you can do. So in this case, it's going to be the left side. And just like that, those edges are solved. And then just to show you on the right side, just like that, that is also solved. But if we don't actually run into a case like that, that is super duper 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 lucky, then you can do, then when you're inserting a normal piece, then you can do this algorithm here. And I will have the notation up on the top as always. So what you can do here is, again, it's the same on the left side. So we do this instead of what the algorithm I showed in the last video. Turning the top. And then that should hopefully help. That actually is much more consistent than doing this algorithm, the beginner's method way. But let's go on to our next tip here. Orientation of the last layer, also known as OLL. I cannot say it for the life of me. This is probably like the 5th take I've tried to do this. Anyways, basically the goal of OLL is to do is to make all the yellow face one direction. Now that can be good unless you know a PLL algorithm, which is basically just able to move around pieces and still have white on the top. I have learned full PLL and I'm almost done learning full OLL. OLL, my gosh. It's a very time-consuming process, but you can learn all this stuff. It just takes a lot of time and practice. But for the normal beginner's cases, we have the line. I didn't really leave up the notation for the last video, so I will just leave it up right now. It's just like this. Yeah, sorry about that. It's definitely my fault, but in the end, we got there. So in the end, we were actually able to find out a lot more different techniques to be able to solve the cube a lot faster. My next video, well, legit video, not a shorts or anything, will be to begin learning PLL algorithms, at least for 3x3 based stuff. For our next legit our next actual video, it will be how to solve a 2x2, which is really fun to learn. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Will it come back solved? Come on. I don't even know why I try anymore.